D-O-X. Johnny Vaughan.
Okay, it is time for us to blame Bono for all the ills of your one. I had a shocking weekend. I went out Friday, then I was ill. And I've still got my car in the multi-storey car park. I don't know how. I may as well just get a mortgage out to get that. I don't know if I just leave the car there or keep the house.
It's almost a newish car, isn't it? But it might not be worth. It might be worth less than the ticket.
It might be. Yes, it might well be. That's a very good point. So I'll have to. Before I get it out, I'm going to go see an accountant. I can write the fees
take
off.
Advice.
Yeah. Well, certainly, however much the accountant charge me, it's going to be less than they charge. Anyway,
it's Bono's fault. Anyway,
it's Bono's fault. Anyway, thanks, Bono. Cheers, mate. What we got in, Gav?
I've got one, no name. Thanks, Bono. I've just bit my tongue whilst eating a packet of salt and vinegar peanuts. He's ruined the nuts as well.
Do you know what I sometimes do? Sorry, a bit of a tip for you here. Do you tip your nuts into your salt and vinegar crisps? Do you always do that?
No, I've not done that.
No, that sounds awesome.
No, if you get a packet of normal nuts in a pub and you get your salt and vinegar crisps and you put them in together and you just, there's just something about the two together. It's like it's exponential increase in salt and vinegar factor. Despite it's just a tip. It's not much of it. I don't do it for guests if they come around your house. You know, no one's going to think, oh, that Sunda's flash. I was going to say she sticks her nuts in her crisp. That sounds a bit weird. My ex-boyfriend drunk texted me at the weekend, telling me he still thinks about me. He's not texted me since. Thanks, Bono, for inventing drunk text, you tinted glasses jerk. That's Laura in Liverpool. Laura, I'm single, love. Don't worry about it.
Freddie in Manchester says, I put diesel in my unleaded petrol car, causing 400 quid's worth of repairs when the AA had to flush it out. Thanks, Bono.
He must have altered the actual aperture of the thing. It's actually quite hard to get the nozzle in if you got the wrong one.
Yeah.
So he's really been double crafted.
Nozzle tampering.
Yeah, classic. Old nozzle tamperer. The old nozzle tamperer's been out. I finished a night shift on the fireboat this morning, only to discover that not only had Bono punctured my car tyre, but he'd also broken into my house and left a drawing pin on my bedroom floor. Thanks very much, Bono. Can I say that drawing pin? That is such a trade. That's so trademark, isn't it?
It's so small in the dark.
And that's how you know it's the Whittle guy. You just know. If that drawing pin hadn't been there, I'd have said maybe not Bono. But little signs like that. That just says, it's just like a to be sure.
X Radio X.
It's time for Random Graffiti. Random Graffiti. Seemingly meaningless. Random Graffiti. Random Graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us? La la la. Notice I was in exactly the right key.
I'm so proud.
Are you proud of me?
Very proud.
Okay, thank you so much for everyone who's contributed. It all started when I saw the word lager written in large letters on a wall in Clapham Junction, random, which actually crops up today. Someone's had a co-sighting to that. I think you'll be quite excited about that, since I can sense you flexing already. Then you sent in your examples of odd, and I would say often meaningless graffiti. By now, you'd have heard the Big Steve thinks Quidditch is real. Bazza does the wild thing. And most recently, Giffin has a poster of Richard Gere on his wall, or even my own personal favourite on a smashed window in Tunbridge Wells. Someone had written on the boarding they put over that, I came through that window. Which for some reason, Gav and I, that's it really. I think, Woodman, you want to say something to
the
people
first week we ever did this, we did get loads of people sending us Give Peas a Chance on the M25.
Which we love.
And the pies now is your time on the M6.
And vote pies.
Yeah, vote pies or versions of pie graffiti on the M6.
No more pies and peas, please.
Yeah, we really had them. We did them months ago.
Unless it's stunning and original. But I'm just saying it's a waste of your text. We don't want to waste your time on this show. You're already wasting 3 hours of it. Okay, here we go. When working in the print many years ago, printing The Sun, I removed a printing blanket to find the words Eddie May makes his own frocks on the reverse. Random graffiti. Great show, Vaughany. Cheers, Paul. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. That's fantastic, isn't it? Eddie May makes his own frocks.
Wonderful. Jake from Reading even sent this in. I started a new job today and on the wall is written no snorkeling
in the staff
toilets.
What the hell does that mean?
It's classic, Gav. It's just classic. Yours, please, Gavin.
This is from Keith in Belfast. Anyone who ever used the gents and in the Pump and Tap pub in Leicester will have seen the words "Skateboard Rob is the world's ugliest man."
And that's from Keith in Belfast. Thank you very much, Keith. Random graffiti. I saw written on a public waste bin in Preston, "Your mum lays bricks." Genius. That's Matt and Chorley. Matt, it certainly is. Thank you so much for your contributions.
No name on this, but it says, "I'm following a van that has 'I'm dirty and it ain't your business' written on it." Made me chuckle. And it ain't your business.
I know, it's something about the way you say it, Sunter. It's like you might have written it. There's something more mischievous about you, Gav.
I love this one from Daz in Lincoln. He says, written on a dirty white transit van back door, "Pat's van, on call Womble."
Graffitied across the back wall of my local park when I was growing up was the phrase, "Your mum wrestles alligators." I still say it today, 20 years later. That's from Gary. Thank you so much for everyone who has contributed. As I say, we've had something earlier in the week. I'm just going to tell you now. You know the word lager that started all this? Well, on the way into Clapham Station, next to that word lager, someone has now added the word, which is great, cider. It's spelled C-Y-D-A.
Cider.
Yeah, man.
That's like player.
I just feel that's sort of. I know it's validated my whole existence. In fact, we started this, and someone's now added cider. That means someone's been on those tracks and vandalised that just because of this show. What a rush!
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan. X.
Let's have a hero. Better be good.
He is. Today's hero is a man called Thomas Nuttall.
Nuttall the Explorer.
Yes. He lived between 1786 and 1859. And he was a botanist whose main study was the flora of Northwest America.
Nice.
That's up Washington State and Idaho and Wyoming and all that area. The only problem he had as an explorer is that he kept getting lost.
Yeah, that's not going to be good, is it? Although, it means you discover things, perhaps.
Well, maybe, but he was so busy trying to find his way back to the camp all the time. They used to light beacons so that he could find his way. And he had an expedition in 1812. One night he didn't show up at the base camp and a search party was sent out. As the search party got closer to him in the darkness, Nuttall assumed that the local Native American tribes were stalking him.
Yeah.
So he kept escaping them, his own men.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It went
it's
on
like a Viz character.
It went on for 3 days.
Oh.
Well, him just escaping from his own men.
Running away from people trying to help him find his way back to the camp. They chased him for 3 days through dense forest until he somehow managed to make it back to the camp himself. He got lost again the next day.
No.
On the same expedition.
Gav, have you got any sense of direction at all?
I have got a great sense of direction. You've got a terrible sense of direction.
I'm right-left dyslexic. It's a proper condition. I can't find myself. I can't. So I kind of identify with the bloke.
Well, he ended up passing out exhausted. He got himself so lost the next day that a Native American found him, and instead of killing him or scalping him or anything, he picked him up, carried him 3 miles to a river, and canoed him back to his own camp.
Is that a sexual thing? No, I just did the word canoed. Isn't that something?
No, it's a
Is that one of those things we're never meant to talk about on air? Sorry.
That's for the dark web, I think.
Okay, sorry.
Thomas Nuttall.
Okay, Thomas Nuttall. The Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7. Dang! Salute you! I'm sure canoeing is, though, something like that.
I'm sure every word has got a version of it.
No, but he canoed him. It just sounds wrong.
Canoodling.
Oh, canoodling. That's where I've got it.
Yeah, that's what it comes
from. Be much nicer story, though. They were found canoodling.
D-O-X. Johnny Vaughan.
Random graffiti, random graffiti. See me giddly random graffiti, random graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us? Well, I was hoping you were going to ride the third.
I was laughing at that.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Gavin. What else we got in? I saw on a bookcase in a library in Chester, I saw the words, "Mr. Tumnus looks like my mate Trev." That's Anna in Chester. Thank you very much, Anna. I tell you what, actually, as I've always said, if you really want to see a centaur, than Ivanovic.
Yeah,
Ivanovic for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He is like the front end of a centaur.
He's just missing the horse bit.
With those fine buttocks. And they're just, once you start watching him during a game, frankly, the whole game changes.
It's quite
You can get a whole row of you
yeah.
just saying, do you see him then? Hilarious.
He's got the thews of a yeoman.
No, because they're just anomalous with a body like that.
Yeah.
It's really distracting.
Yeah, that's true.
Bob sent this one in
Go
to
on.
me. Under a motorway bridge in Dartford, Santa was here 2015. Ho, ho, ho.
Nice.
Imagine if it was.
I know.
Santa out of his tiny mind. He just had too many brandies and just thought, I was going to write it.
This one's from Mark in Dagenham. Everywhere in Dagenham, the words Dagenham Dave.
Yeah, why is that? And who is he?
I had that in the 80s when I was going to school on the train every day. There was always Mike of the Shed carved into the wooden train carriages you used to have, in the varnish.
I knew Mike well. Mike's a lovely bloke. Did you not know Mike from the Shed?
I didn't even know what the Shed was then.
Didn't you?
No.
All right.
Dagenham Dave's a Morrissey song.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. But it must be named after Dagenham Dave, maybe.
Maybe Dagenham Dave came first.
Which came first?
Yeah.
Incidentally, just want to sort this one out. People say which came first, the chicken and the egg, right?
There we go.
No, have I done this on it? No, I'm just saying, if you walked into your kitchen and there was a chicken and an egg, you would say, I wonder what arrived first. The egg. I mean, sorry, the chicken obviously came first. The chicken, and then the chicken laid the egg.
You're digging a hole. It's a circular process.
It's not a circular. Okay, the point is, where do eggs come from? Chickens. Where do chickens come from? Now, that's a good question. That's a question.
Yes.
But we know for certain where the eggs come from.
That's true.
Where the chickens come from...
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X. Radio X.
Turns out Gav and I both use our legs as thermostats while we sleep. Here's the deal. Google, I've got a car, it's crashed into a bus. It was going 2 miles an hour, the bus was going 15. This is one of these self-drive, these automatic drive, car things.
Apparently the cars of the future, you don't have to drive anymore.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of people enjoy driving. They really do. It's quite... I mean, I do agree that it'd be nice if when you could just book your car in onto a motorway and it'll just do the rest, and suddenly a journey...
if it's stop-start, then definitely I'd like to not have to do the stop-starting.
Well, if you go back and read my original article about this in Gear, which has undoubtedly influenced Google.
Okay.
I was just saying you just merely use Parktronic and Sat Nav, and that's really all you need. That's the basis of a self-drive car.
Right.
So it knows how far things are away and it knows where you are. So really you just book in to take a car journey, and so you get into your car, it'll book you a slot and it'll keep you at a steady speed to get you there on time. It'll do everything for you.
Right.
I like that. But it's also quite good driving. It's quite good fun driving.
It is fun, yeah.
What I'd like Google to do, why do they do things that our humans find hard?
Right.
We can drive. We can park. Leave it alone. It's not a problem.
So what are you suggesting?
Duvets.
Yeah.
I really struggle getting my duvet on.
Yeah.
Really?
I went to bed at 9 o'clock.
You mean the cover?
The cover, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can put a duvet on just by itself.
I was just
going
going
to
to say, it's easy to just throw a duvet
No,
on the
Gav,
bed.
I struggle with that, mate. It's the shape. It doesn't tally. I've got a triangular bed. You try it. No, the point is, Gav, if they could have a machine that would just put my duvet on, something that would help me.
Yeah.
Like a little robot, and it would just put it in the corners. Last night, I went to bed really early because I've been a bit ill over the weekend. Well, I was shaking off Gav's thing. I wasn't ill. I just felt the beginnings of it. So I had an early night last night, woke up about 4 a.m, hungry, went to McDonald's and did my shopping at Marks and Sparks in the petrol station.
5 a.m?
Yeah, it's good. I tell you, it's a safe time to shop. It's basically, in my local petrol station, it's me and about 12 armed policemen.
Lovely.
For some reason, they all stop then to get their snacks and coffee. They'll get to caffeine up there.
Donuts, yeah.
Yeah. And I got back and I thought, well, I suddenly started feeling tired again because of the McDonald's. And I was trying to just straighten my duvet. And it's twisted inside the cover, and I couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
I ended up having a fight with it. no, but I'm not kidding. Using the F and C word.
I was going to say, did you swear at it?
Yes, I did. And I was kicking it.
Did you end up inside it?
But the thing is, I did. I ended up inside on the floor.
Inside the ride.
Literally inside this duvet, trying to put the corners there.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was lying right out with
Spread eagled.
spread eagle like a starfish with 4 stars, and I was trying to spread it into the corners. And then I came out, and then but as I aggressed the duvet,
Yeah.
which has only got 2 buttons now that work on the bottom.
No, that's where you're
And I shook
wrong.
it, and I just looked at the side. It's massive, and a load of duvet flopped through the hole. And I was like, no, I punched it. I punched a duvet. Oh, you. Anyway, Google. If you want to work on something, the Google.
Or cars that can levitate out of traffic.
Now you're talking
and
to
fly
me.
home
and then put
as the crow flies.
Yeah, and then come upstairs and sort my duvet out.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Friday, I'm in love. The Cure. It's just always good, isn't it? Even not on a Friday, particularly, but it's just one of those tunes. It's.
Yeah, you were sound bathing there.
I was sound bathing. I sat back. I turned the
big speakers up.
The Genelec studio monitors up, which I've got to say, we're in the lucky position here. In a world without loudspeakers, where all stereo is personal.
Yeah.
When I grew up, not that I did particularly, but it was all public.
It was all Wharfdale.
It was all about Kef Celeste.
Is it all like people walking down the street with their ghetto blasters?
No, it wasn't. But any house you went past, if your neighbours turned up, you turned it up.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. If your sister had it turned up, you went
Sound
louder. You
system
went
walls.
louder. Remember, my sister used to have them.
Walls aren't as thick as they used to be.
There, you're right there, love. Walls aren't what they used to be.
I'll never buy their sausages again.
Here we go. Here's the details. A nagging wife or husband can cause memory loss. Do you know what? And researchers have said this. At last, science has got it right. I used to be nagged by my ex so much. I get nagged here for holiday days because I'm hopeless. I haven't got a diary or anything. I'm just useless at these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have been. But as soon as people start nagging me, it just sends me into like brain fart. And I just get this... I just can't now correlate any information. I just go to pieces.
So with excessive nagging, there's a fog of confusion.
There's a fog of confusion. There is. Round and around
and stress.
around. Yeah, there is. But why I like this, he says, a nagging wife or husband can cause memory loss, researchers say. Now, my ex still does it. All the time. I think this is a sign why I haven't given my holiday dates in. Because she's nagging me about it as well. Because you've got, to organise the kids and everything. And it's just meant I just avoid the subject.
Yeah, I think it's to do with reminding you to remember things that you're not particularly keen on doing.
It's just the very fact she has nagged me puts me off. Anyway, look, They blame the stress of having an overbearing spouse or bullying boss for memory loss. Okay?
Yep. Right.
But then what I like about this is that how they found out that a nagging wife or husband can cause memory loss. They tested it with mice. I know, they nagged mice.
How do you nag a mouse?
Not on the... Would you get off the wheel? No, but I bet that's what the
Clean
mice
up your hutch.
Just as soon as you start nagging the mice, it just goes round and around the wheel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I just wish I'm going on the wheel. Boom. Shoom, shoom, shoom. A lot of blokes, we wished we just had a
But
wheel.
the wheel is the telly, isn't it?
Or the pub.
Yeah,
the pub.
The wheel is
Yeah.
the pub, exactly right.
Yeah, and football stadiums are the creche.
The mouse's wheel. I'm just off up the mouse's wheel for an hour. I'll answer you when I'm down, dear.
It's a good name for a pub, actually.
It's a very good name for a pub. Test with mice. This is what I like is the way they've paralleled. Just remember I said a nagging wife or husband, yeah? Or spouse or bullying boss. Okay, so remember wife, spouse or bullying boss.
Right.
Check the parallel here, okay, you ready? Test with mice repeatedly exposed to, quote, a dominant intruder. I like the way they've used, how can we parallel a spouse or bullying boss? I know. Dominant intruder. Sorry, Si's tapping his board with 1610 on it, meaning get on with it.
It's a great name for a metal band.
What?
Dominant Intruder.
Dominant intruder. That's genius. Yeah, tests with mice repeatedly exposed to a dominant intruder found they could not recall how to get out of a maze. There we go.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan. X.
A jogger proposed to his girlfriend by using a GPS tracking app to map out the words, "Will you marry me?" along an 8-mile course. Martin Rolfe ran the route round Worthing, West Sussex, using a tracker watch and asked Fatma Turk, whom he'd met while working at an IT company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also to check his whereabouts. Did it spell it out?
First she commented on what a funny route it was, but it said, doesn't it look like words? I mean, what difficult moments this butt-clenchingly embarrassing. It's quite a weird route. He's gone, yeah, but doesn't it smell like something out? She's gone, well, and it does. Little sigh, lean over my shoulder, but not too much. Don't lick me. That's virtually licking.
No need for that, Simon.
It's like a little horrid little... Those Ibethan hounds, the hairless ones. With the noses designed to cool hot air down.
Shivery.
Oh, shivery. Even shiver when it's hot. But stop it, Si, because it feels really weird and it's now got a weird vibration. Just back a bit, Si, if you can now.
Does it actually look like it says, "Will you marry me"?
Si?
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah. It's quite cute.
Oh,
Jeez.
get out of here. That is not cute. Doesn't it look like words? She picked out a couple. She went, Will. I mean, how excruciating. She's really making him suffer there as well. Yeah, a couple of them do. And then when she turned round, I was on one knee.
Now, my question is, did he make her run with him?
No, he didn't. This is when they got back to the office.
Right.
I'm so touched he proposed in this way, said Fatima, who said yes. So it worked, yeah?
It did
She's
work.
more than I've ever managed. But
He went to a lot of trouble, there's no question about that.
Yeah, it's
how
not
did
planning.
he feel as he jogged? But ill. Especially at one stage, he must have been on WILLY.
So there's lots of vertical up
No,
and
at one
down.
stage, I mean, if he'd croaked at that point, he'd just left
He would
the
have
word
said
Willie, which would have been really odd for him, you know. And then what would she have thought? No, it's really odd. He just left this on his GPS system. All he left was the word Willie. I think he's a weirdo.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Apparently, when people cut back on spending in the house, people genuinely do, consciously, while on the loo, use less paper. They genuinely think, nope, don't go for that. Yeah, because shoppers cutting costs when spending a penny have led to a slump in toilet roll sales across Britain, according to market research. Gav, when you've cut back when money's too tight to mention, cut back. Do you think, no, easy, Gav, with that Cavalier wipe?
Well, first of all, I never skimp on toilet roll. I always buy the most expensive one.
Say what you like about Gav.
Even when he's not got
No, but
two
seriously,
pennies
that's right.
And I've
clubbed
heard some
together.
people really slag him off. But you can say what
I
you
might have no mineral water in the fridge, but I'm
Yeah.
quilted
He
in
might be
the
all-
bathroom.
Yeah, he might be all out of Fuji water.
I'm
but
fully quilted.
I don't know. I find the quilted style. I mean, I'm not going to get too into it, but some of them. No, you don't want a bit of gloss on there.
No gloss.
You want something that engages.
Just a bit of gauge to it.
Oh, the
Just a bit of
gloss, that
thickness.
just took me back to that tracing paper.
That's the
toilet
worst,
paper
yeah,
you used to have at
toilet school.
That's all right. It's
Yeah.
just you've got to just master the discipline.
That's just pain.
All I want is it comes off the roll. Look underneath, you'll find it's got a much more sympathetic matte side. But when slightly damp, if left in the right conditions, which you have to do,
But it will work as toilet roll.
12 years in institutions,
Because
I can tell you.
the shiny side, I mean, it's just,
No, if you leave it on a window ledge on quite a wet day, that whole roll will dampen, and I
Wow.
think you'll find it's actually quite an accommodating wipe.
Okay.
D-O-X.
Johnny Vaughan.
Do you know what a bogan is? Or a bogan? I don't know how it's pronounced. Is it pronounced bogan or bogan?
Bogan.
A
bogan?
So little Si knows what a bogan is. Do you know what a bogan is?
What is
No.
it?
A bogan is I suppose it's in Australia what chavs are in Britain, effectively.
Oh, right.
Bargains. You know, so I'm going to go a bit easy here because that word's become politically incorrect. But bargains. Anyway, they've picked out. Is that about right, or is that?
Like
That's right, yeah.
ne'er-do-well youths.
Well, no, I don't know. No, I guess it's a bit of a snobby term.
Oh,
isn't it?
right,
You know,
I see.
so, you know.
Right.
Anyway, they've looked at in Australia. You know, Gav and I are kind of obsessed with Australian names. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, mate. And the way you generate an Australian name is you get a very old-fashioned Scottish name, or sort of-
Irish, yeah.
or Irish, or a long English name like Nicholson, and you put something like in front of it. You just simply put
Brett.
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah,
Lee.
like Craig Nicholson, like you'd have Shane Wilkinson, Brett Fitzpatrick, Daryl Cameron, Dale McMillan. Just some that we generate there. So you just need ancient, modern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've now got these most popular bogan baby names. These are the most popular sort of names that are just emergent in Australia, and some of them just made me laugh. Do you know what the top boy's name amongst the bogans of Australia is at the moment?
What?
Aryan.
Aryan. How are you spelling that?
As a name.
Exactly like the ones with Nazi Germany, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Aryan.
Aryan?
Yeah, Aryan.
Okay, that's weird.
That's really
No, but
weird.
it's supposedly quite classy. Do you know what the second
Go on.
Blade?
Now that's just pure Mad Max, that is.
It's fantastic. Sorry, it's fantastic. Sorry, fantastic. For girls, do you know what the top name for girls is at the moment in Australia?
What?
Beautiful.
No.
And also the name Enivid.
Innovid.
Yeah, Enivid. It's just divine spelled backwards. That's another craze there.
Beautiful's not a name.
And
It is,
also,
yes.
it's going to just get shortened to Butte.
Also,
Beauty.
your beauty. But get this. A notable entry is the name Unique, spelt Y-O-U-N. Eek.
Really?
Unique.
Someone's having a laugh.
No, they're not.
Surely.
These are genius. But this is my favourite bit. This started years ago when I used to watch a soap, and there was a character in it whose name was Norel.
Norel.
Yeah, no, Norel. N-U.
What soap was that?
I can't remember. It's probably like Home and Away. Or
Young
whatever.
Doctors.
It was Doctors. I think it was Young Doctors. Yeah, she was called Norel. These are hybrid names. So this is a new fashion they've got there. So a really popular name at the moment is the melding of Cheryl and Geraldine. And do you know what the name is? Geraldine.
No.
Yeah, and they've also that's it, Peach. And also the other classic at the moment is the melding. This is a beauty, yeah. You mix Jaden and Zayden, and they've got a new name there, which is Jazaden.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Okay, do you know what? I'm looking for a new craze. You know that. I'm looking for a hobby. We've had some great suggestions in the past. We've now got Neil, who's got a whole new craze for me that I've never even heard of. Let's find out anyway. Let's talk to Neil. Neil, are you there?
Hi, Johnny. Yes, I am.
You're right, matey. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear you. I haven't heard you for a long while.
No, I haven't either. Neil, that's because I'm not that good, apparently. Okay, Neil, tell us about your craze, your hobby.
Snail racing.
Snail
You and your
racing.
boy can do that. Yeah, and that's a great leveller.
Is it? Okay, tell me about... Go on.
No, you're all right. I'm listening. Sorry. I've got a big mouth.
Me too. Again, that's why you haven't heard me for a long time. You're lifetime president of the British Snail Racing Association. Where are you based?
We're based in Congham in Norfolk.
Okay, and how many times a year do you race and get together?
Well, we have one official world championship, which is the third Saturday in July every year. But there's a lot of different races going on throughout the year. But the most important one and the biggest one is the world championship.
Okay.
Is there breeding involved?
Oh yeah. It's quite specialist actually. It's my wife and I are probably the biggest breeders of racing snails in the world, and we breed thousands a year. And
I've got to tell you that sounds quite odd, there, mate. It sounds quite odd. Can you just say? I'd prefer if you just said you just did it.
Well, no, but that's the great thing about it. It's not just an individual thing. You have so much fun, and people come and they race and they bring a team and they train a team.
Yeah.
And some breed and some don't, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful sport.
How do you train a snail?
Good question, sis.
Well, what I always tell people is get a half a dozen snails out of your garden, just ordinary garden snails. Put them on a damp handkerchief in the middle of your kitchen table, and see which ones go the quickest. And they usually go in a left-hand arc, not always.
They usually go which way?
A left-hand arc.
Okay.
And they usually have shallower swirls on the shell, because that's important. There's a lot to do with the drag and all that sort of stuff. All that.
Of course.
Okay, I get you now.
Carbon fibre shell.
Well, basically, you just drink a lot of booze and watch snails moving slowly. Okay, fair enough. This sounds like something I can get into. Now, tell us...
You can, actually. I'm not kidding. It's quite... And once you've got your team, the best thing to do is to train them on French windows. Train them going up, and then they'll go quicker on the flat. So,
Okay,
and that's just basically all it boils down to. And obviously, you've got to feed them a good diet. They don't need burgers or or whatever. They want some good old British grown Lolo Rosso. I still think Lolo Rosso was the best.
Okay, and do they get tested sometimes if one's a bit too quick? Is there substance abuse?
Oh yeah, we have vets in attendance all day. We have 2 or 3 vets walking around, and they're quite, they're in the background.
Yeah, but the shadowy figures.
Yeah, they are, and they are bona fide vets because you've got to obviously keep an eye on the animal welfare because you know what some of these people are like, they're a bit cranky, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we do that, and obviously you've obviously heard that we used to do random slime sampling, which thankfully we don't have to do anymore. We haven't got drugs in our sport. We are a clean sport, and that's great. So we'll take a leaf out of our book.
Okay. The world record. Just tell my listeners how you race.
We race from an inner circle to an outer circle, and the course is 13 inches long.
Okay.
What's the fastest?
And the course has to be kept damp at all times to give them a good medium to race.
Okay.
But just a little aside, you'll like this. This is funny. We had a team up from Worcestershire one year, and I was preparing the course because that's quite a meticulous job. You want to do things properly. Like you prepare your show, we prepare a course. That's a big thing.
Yeah, not a good analogy. Weak analogy. You probably prepare.
Well, Simon told me you were a stickler.
Yeah. Well, Simon doesn't. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. It turns out Simon is not my biggest fan. But go on.
Wait. He seemed like a very nice man.
No, he's a lovely bloke, but he's not a big fan of mine. Go on. Anyway, these people from Worcestershire, I was pouring water on the course and, smoothing it down and just preparing as you do. And then they said to me, "Is this Malvern water?" And I said, "No, it's common water. This is what we race on. This is our medium." And they said, "Well, we want Malvern water." And I said, "Well, you just have to whistle, mate, because this is the water we're having." And they actually left. They packed the cars up and went. And I thought, well, fair enough. Well, they left because it was the wrong water.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's how anal some people can be. Yeah. I mean, that's a very rare occurrence. That's why I remember it. It's extremely rare.
You get some anal snail owners, do you? Okay, listen, I've got some. They can be a bit anal. Okay, I've got some facts here. The oldest owner champion was Claire Lawrence, a 67-year-old from America. The world record.
Oh no, she wasn't from America. No, she was from a few villages down the road.
Oh, right.
And she spoke to an American radio, and they rung the bell because it was one of them posh sporty ones, and she was over the moon. Bless her.
Okay, diet is very important. Apparently, Rocket is good in their diet. I've got down here.
Yeah, it is. But like I said before, I still think Lolo Rosso was the best.
Okay, and the winning snail gets to enjoy what? What do you get?
He gets a specially bred, I'll get that out in a minute. I'm getting my teeth in a muddle.
Yeah.
Specially bred lettuce in a pewter tankard that they get to keep for a year, and then they get a replica the following summer.
They get a replica like with the FA Cup. Listen, we're a bit over here, but Neil, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so much. When is it? When can I come along?
It's the third Saturday in July. Don't ask me the date because I'm an old man and I've got a memory like a sieve.
Okay, the third Saturday in July. And it's in Kings Lynn, and that's it. All right, listen, thank you so much, Neil. Just brilliant. Brilliant to talk to you. And let's not forget, he is president of the British Snail Racing Association. Cheers, Neil. Thanks very much. Here's Coldplay.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X. Bear Grylls. Mission Survive. Takeover.
Now, as you know already today, various presenters on your favourite radio station, Radio X, have been doing challenges, though Moylesy swerved his.
Yeah, he had Pippa and Dave do his for him, effectively. Yeah, they ate some bugs, I think.
Dan didn't swerve his.
No, Dan, I've just seen Dan do his. He had a snake round his neck and Vernon abseiled down the building.
Yes.
Which was pretty impressive.
No, I've got to tell you, Dan, when before we came in the studio, I saw the remains of Dan. I didn't realise how she hates reptiles. Anyway, the point is, Scott is here, who is, he's ridden shotgun on many of Bears'. Scott, what do we say?
We're bears by now.
Bears.
Really. Yeah,
on many of Bears' missions.
Yeah.
And, but he bears no grudges. But Scott, welcome to our show. Lovely to have you. Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Now, Scott, you're here today to make sure I do my challenge later. Nothing bad happens.
It's just health and safety, Johnny. Just health and safety. You don't want anyone to get hurt.
I'm just... God, how
that sounds really ominous.
What's the talent? What do you mean? Were you here for the others?
I wasn't, but they all sound super dangerous. Oh my God,
you're only here for mine. Why is this?
Qualified personnel.
I do know I've got to at some stage go onto the roof because I saw them opening that, which I don't like because I hate heights.
Right.
Anyway, Scott, while you're here, you used to be in the Royal Marines.
Royal Marines, yeah, that's right.
Okay, and so you're right across the phonetic alphabet.
Well, yeah, I thought I was right across the phonetic alphabet, and you have to test me on it. I'm not good on the alphabet, being an ex-Marine, but not bad on the phonetic.
Oh, put yourself down.
Yeah,
okay,
spelling test and all that.
But listen, in association with our beloved listeners, we have created an all-new phonetic alphabet. At the moment, we haven't had any response from the military.
We've had fire service response, and we've had a couple of truckers who've used it.
But you're the first person who's even been around the military to really give us a response. As you can see, Scott, do you want to just read that through there for us?
Yeah, they're all quite good. There's a couple of favourites in there, actually. I quite like, obviously, flange. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not keen on ex-wife.
No, I'm not keen on mine. That's why we chose it.
Alpen, Bulldog, Cheesy Dongo, Elvis. Yeah, that's not too bad. Flange. Is that Giggity?
Yes.
Hashtag Idiot Jedi. I got, what's that?
Kumquat.
That's a made-up word, isn't it?
No,
it's a fruit.
Is
Lager.
it? I thought it was a type of shoe in Tibet.
No,
okay,
it's a
fair
fruit.
enough.
Mango nipple. I mean, this does roll off the tongue, actually.
Yeah, mango nipple oblong plums. So Scott, you're looking. You be sweaty, cheesy, oblong. Techno. Do you think the techno, the fact it always has to be 3 times, Scott, might that get in the way?
When there's bullets flying around?
It could do. You've got to think of a call sign. The call sign's always 2 or 3 put together, so you would be Jedi, Lager, Mango, Oblong, something like that, and then you have to answer.
Okay, give us some more. Really exciting, that was.
If I go, Giggity, Flange, Elvis, Dongle, you're receiving over. There's a nice radio message.
Mango nipple plums, I'll read you loud and clear.
Sweaty Roger idiot, come back.
Yeah. Sweaty idiots on lager. Do you think the military might adopt this?
To be honest, it's a lot easier. I think it could be memorised easily. Yeah, it's great. Why not?
But also the point is the enemy. You'll be one step ahead.
Yeah, they won't have a clue, will they?
They won't have a clue what you're on about. Plus, you can drop this more into everyday language.
Absolutely. Well, we encode and decode everything. You don't need to. It's done. It's already there.
That's what I mean. So
Perfect.
You can sort of say, I'd say this is a bit cheesy, isn't it? Oh, should we have a quickie? And before you know it, you've given out a call sign.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's much more easy to insert into everyday life. Do you think Bear Grylls might take this on?
Do you know what? It's probably top of his agenda, actually. He's been looking for something like this for some time.
You mean Bulldog Giggity?
Yeah, as we call him.
Yeah.
Could you ask the big Bulldog Giggity, if on behalf of us, if he'd like to take this on board for his show?
I'll put it to him next time I see him. He'll be all over this. He'll love this.
All right, listen, Scott, we'll see you a bit later in the show for my challenge.
One.
Cheers, matey.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
John, I went to this British Football Awards last night. Sorry, the London Football Awards. That's why I'm not going out tonight, because I'm still a bit shaky.
A big one.
Yeah, I did in the end. I didn't go in there expecting one, but everyone was just so friendly on my table.
Really?
I gave out an award, and at the very start, I gave out the award to the best woman football player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who won?
I can't pronounce the name.
Okay.
I genuinely can't, but she does play for Chelsea, who won the double last year, Chelsea Girls. I did apologise at the start, which actually kind of got the audience together, because at first I sort of gave it the big, and I wore a Chelsea scarf that I bought in Munich. The night we won the Champions League. So I thought I'd get, I thought surely they'd cheer that just on the spirit of football. They didn't, they're booed.
Oh no!
Yeah, it really was. A load of gooners.
There are some other teams in London.
No, but I just thought the spirit of it. You see Bob Wilson in the front row with Harry Redknapp, you don't think they're going to boo you. When you look down, you see Bob Wilson actually giving you giving you like really offensive gestures.
He didn't.
He did. He gave me the circular finger gesture. No, he didn't. I'm kidding. But
I wish he had.
There was a lot of booing, and I suddenly had to calm it down. So I said, "I'll just apologise that Chelsea Football Club haven't been able to make it this season," which kind of warmed everyone up. That was kind of okay. But how you were saying I might meet a girl there.
Yeah, so I thought it could be like a good opportunity to
because I'm
meet
looking
a nice
for kind of
lady.
a footballer's wife type.
Right, not
And,
someone who's still
I can't
married
think
to a
why.
footballer.
No, all right, girlfriend. I don't know what but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I arrived, and I instantly, it was like about the women organisers said, gorgeous. And I got talking to this real babe at the bar, and she said, "We'll show you through, Johnny, don't worry." Because I went through the VIP bit, and I was all ready to give my award bit out. And then went in there. Man, talk about a sausage fest. It was just blokes.
Oh.
Every table was just 10 men, all with old footballers.
Reminiscing
young
about
footballers.
football, yeah.
And the funny thing was, you could see the age at which they stopped buying suits footballers. So you get these suits that are all era-led. You think, right, last bought a suit, 88.
Yes, double-breasted.
Double-breasted green. I don't know what Bob Wilson's was. but I swear I recognise it
Some
from
of them
Match
look
of the
like
Day.
they'd stolen their suit from Tony Hadley.
Walking wine bar. He is. He's a wine bar in man form, Tony Hadley.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
At this time, every week, we always like to go to our pet town where our correspondent waits for us. Ricky, hello.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
Not too bad, matey. Lovely to have you on the show. Welcome to the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing. Tell us a bit about Whitehaven, Ricky.
Well, it's just a fantastic place to live. It's the unspoilt lakes. So people always ask where Whitehaven is, and you say Cumbria, and then they go, right, where's Cumbria? And you say the Lake District.
Yeah.
And, people know the central lakes of, of Windermere and Keswick and all that, but we're just a little bit off to the west. But we've got
off to the west.
sea.
Okay, that's left where we are. Okay.
So we go up to Penrith, head up towards Scotland.
Penrith, with Nell and I.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and then turn left.
Okay. So you're on the coast there.
Yes. Yeah, we're right on the coast.
Man, that sounds beautiful.
I bet it is, yeah.
Because the countryside in Withnell and I, we love.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've got. We've got mountains behind us, and we've got the sea in front of us. It's just.
And in the middle, you've got drizzle. Let's face it.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, we wouldn't have the lakes, would we? Otherwise, if you didn't have a bit of rain, if you come into Cumbria, dress for rain, and if it doesn't rain, bonus.
Okay. Does it rain a lot?
Yeah, compared to Bethnal Green, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to tell you that you don't sound that like. Sorry, you don't sound like you come from Cumbria, you know.
No, I don't. I come from Bethnal Green, but I've been up here for nearly 20 years now.
And what were you on the run?
I was, from Bethnal Green.
Are you still hiding? I mean,
I am, yeah.
I just noticed you've got an Italian name. You're not left over from like the Pizza House siege or something.
It's Ice Cream Wars.
Oh, that was Birmingham. Okay. Now, Ricky.
It's a Venezuelan name.
Okay. Ricky, you run Zest.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
Well, we have two restaurants in Whitehaven. Me and my wife. We moved. My wife's from Whitehaven originally, so I dragged her actually back here kicking and screaming because I'd had enough of the big smoke. Yeah. And
we'll leave that a bit, Rick.
Sorry?
People from Bethnal Green, it's just always for me, when they say they've had enough of London, you sort of think, I can't help thinking you're on the run, but carry on.
I had to swerve someone, yeah. We came up and we opened our first restaurant in 2000, and quickly after that we opened another one which was Zest Harbourside, which is, as the name suggests,
yeah, you probably had to did you have to get rid of a vast amount of cash quite quickly?
Of course.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yes.
Out of London. Get another grand out of the attic, love. Let's open another restaurant.
You called me a toy boy as well, didn't you?
Oh, no, I didn't mean, I meant tour guide, but I had inability to say it because of the way the sentence fell. Go and grab another 15. Get another 15 quid out of the attic, love.
You know it makes sense.
We're going to need another 20 quid. Let's open another restaurant.
Well, and that's the good thing about the restaurant game up here is that we're a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. And what sort of food are you serving there? You've got Zest, which is one of your restaurants. It says it's a modern British restaurant.
That's right, yeah. They're both just modern British restaurants, really. We sell a little bit of everything. If we can get fish off the harbour, we do. We've got brilliant meat in Cumbria as well. So just a real mixture of anything and everything. If you were going to coin it, Harbourside would be like northern portion tapas. You know, if you give them free sausages and free sausages and an olive, they're gonna knock you out.
Okay.
They want a decent portion.
If we're going to give them free sausage and olive, John, they're going to knock you spark.
He's right, though. Of course.
No, of course he's right. He's from Bethnal Green.
Yes.
Free sausages and olive, they're going to knock you spark, oh, son.
Exactly.
Okay, you go open. I'm going to go through this very quickly now because we've reached the end of our allotted time because we've nattered so much with our Cockney stuff. But you love to go open water swimming. Isn't that very cold?
It is, but I hear that you're looking for a new sport, and I think it could be the one for you.
Okay,
with a pair of concrete boots.
Okay, it's a concrete overcoat. Okay, and you like to go mountain biking? There's loads of that there. You've got the mountains, the sea, and the Lake District right on your doorstep. It all sounds fantastic. What I wanted to know is where are you going out tonight as we go bananas?
There's only one place in Whitehaven to go, other than Zest. It's Joe Bananas. To go bananas.
What a coincidence.
It's actually called Joe Bananas.
It's called Joe Bananas, yes.
Would you, Adam and Eve's son?
Brilliant.
Get out there and wreck the gaff.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sun you off. Listen, it's been really nice talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Whitehaven's Ricky. Get down to Zest. Bye, Ricky.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
Page 3 of the Times today, and I'm absolutely delighted. I love all things Mexican. I love Mexico. It's my favourite place to go to. It's edgy. I like it. It's just the best. Have you been?
No.
Have you been?
No, I've never been to Mexico.
Oh man, it's just about. I tell you why, because you just get the feeling there's no real laws there.
Right.
You know, you just walk in and you sort of think I can just do what I like here. This is great. No one's stopping me. Last time I went to Mexico, it's fantastic. I lucked in on these Colombian girls were having a hen night.
Wow.
Yeah. And I ended up just being taught to salsa on the beach by a Colombian hen night. I'll stick a photo on my Twitter. You'll really enjoy it. It's just because, well, I hope you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
I bet.
And it was, I have to say, it was the best day of my life.
Right.
And it's just, and we went out to a traditional Mexican restaurant. They said it's very traditional. They said it's really traditional. And I was like, well, what's traditional about it? She goes, well, look. There's a dwarf over there with a sombrero with shots on it. How much more traditional can you get?
That wasn't a tourist thing.
No, he's just walking around the bar with his sombrero built up. It's about literally a metre either side of this thing. He was like a table, which I thought he was.
Which basically was a table.
Just covered with shot glasses with tequila on. He was just walking around. You just drink what you like. And this Colombian girl goes, she's gone, he's very traditional. It's very traditional. There's nothing traditional about it at all. And that's what I like about Mexico. Okay. Anyway, in Mexico, they love the Smiths. They love Morrissey. They absolutely love him. They've gone mad for it. Particularly in LA. That's where the crossovers happen. Mexicans in Los Angeles. I know I say particularly in Los Angeles. That's not a part of Mexico I know. But the Mexicans who've moved up there, they've kind of brought the sound. They love it. Anyway, I was reading this. Why do Mexicans love Morrissey? Why would they? And this guy here says, growing up with Mexican parents in Los Angeles, as a people, we're working class, Catholic, into boxing and soccer, very much like Morrissey is. That experience of not quite belonging somewhere that Morrissey sings about like no one else can. That's a very common feeling among the Latino people here. And what's weird is, if you read, I'm a big fan of, I really enjoy Northern Soul. And if you read Dave Godin's fantastic book, Northern Soul, and he's the guy who gave us the phrase Northern Soul.
Right.
And it was in I think, Rhythm R&B and Soul Review, 1968, this magazine he used to edit. He started talking about Northern Soul. And it's because people up north completely identified with the experience of working class Northerners, identified with the experience of Afro-American workers. They felt they were not really cared about by government, sort of disenfranchised, and the whole point was, you know, we might not have money, but we've got love, we've got soul.
Yeah.
And that's why they identify with it. And I was reading about this, absolutely, and I suddenly thought, wow, it's so weird how these are something we've done has crossed over like that. Anyway, a group of Mexican musicians, they love Morrissey so much, they've got this band called Mexrissy. And the band has translated Morrissey's most venerable songs into Spanish and laced them with Latin beats. They've done, well, here you go. They've got...
meat is murder.
La carne es homicidio. There's a light that never goes out.
Hay una luz que nunca se apaga. Girlfriend in a coma, it's serious.
La novia está en un coma. Es muy grave. Heaven knows I'm miserable now.
Sabe Dios, estoy abatido ahora.
And also this one. Hey! Tarantino should feature it in something.
Yes. Yeah. My friend's actually been and seen this band play live. He said it was one of the best nights of his life. They were incredible.
Where did you see him?
In London.
Awesome.
Yeah. This
is Suede Head, obviously.
Yeah.
Even Big Size dancing, and we're running over by a minute and a half. It's sort of got that hotel sound. It's a hotel band.
The addition of horns to any song is just brilliant.
It's awesome. A really good horn section.
Ready.